Fanuli Mluga Nafa Cthulhu Lane God Not Flatagen. Alright, you just caught me with a bit of light reading. I love Lovecraft. I know he was a racist, I don't condone that, but I like all of the games that are set in his universe, most of the games that are set in his universe actually. And what I have behind me is every game that I own that is a Lovecraft themed game. And over here on the iPad are the games that I got rid of that were Lovecraft themed. What I want to do is I want to go through all of the Lovecraft... What I want to do is I want to go through all of the Lovecraft games that I have and see how Lovecrafty they are and how well they Lovecraft. Now this is not going to be in any kind of order or anything. It's just, I want to talk about some Lovecraft games and why I like them. What makes a good Lovecraft game is mystery, feeling like you're gonna die, going a little bit crazy, and trying to see something you've never seen before. A lot of Lovecraft games just throw his name on it and throw some tentacles in it and call it a day, but some of these back here do a little more than that. So go on this journey to the unknown! Because that quote that they always put on fucking everything, what is it? Oldest and strongest emotion is mankind fear, and the oldest fear is unknown. That quote is fucking everywhere. And it's, I don't really like it very much. But boom! So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's get Lovecrafty. All right, so there are many, many places to start. Let us first start with not the first game that I ever played that was Lovecraft, but we're just gonna grab one and go. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the first games I ever talked about was Pocket Madness. What this is, it is Rummy with Cthulhu on it. It's not really a super thematic game. It doesn't make you feel crazy. It's just really pretty art. So this first little one here, it's really pretty. It has all the Elder Gods in it, and it's whatever. This one gets 5 Phatragons out of infinity. Next up is one of my favorite social deduction games. That is Do Not Mess with Cthulhu. This one isn't really a theme at all. It's just, it could be anything. It could be Mafia, it could be Werewolf, but it's cultist and it's Cthulhu and it's fun. The theme itself, we're not talking about how good the game is, because the game is fantastic. We're talking about how well the theme is implemented in this, oh my goodness, anything can go wrong. And that's really, it does a really good job of making you feel like any decision I make could be the wrong one anytime, and I don't have enough information to make a good decision. So because you don't have all the information, this one right here, Don't Mess with Cthulhu, gets 12 unknown Kadaths out of 14. Next up is one that I've also talked about. It might not necessarily be Cthulhu officially, but realistically, how can you look at this and not think that, oh, still beautiful? Ugly bastard right here is not inspired and driven by Cthulhu. Look at all this shit. This is all very Lovecrafty, Godsy and everything. Abyss, I will say, is a phenomenal game. Does it really get that Lovecraft theme other than just being underwater and whatever? I don't know. I think it does a pretty good job. I'd say it gets about 6 Stan Marshes out of 7. Next up, we have a trio of games that I have actually not played at all. I've read the rules, and I've tried to play them, and it just doesn't work out. First up, H.P. Lovecraft's Kingsport Festival. Kingsport is a town in the Lovecraft universe. This, as far as I understand it, is just kind of a weird dice rolly get things. The art is very good. I haven't played it, and because I haven't played it, there's definitely a fear of the unknown, because I don't know if it's going to be good or bad. So Kingsport Festival, the card game specifically, because there's another one based on Kingsport, the regular game, or Kingsburg, or one of those. This one specifically, though, gets, I don't know, 3 festivals out of 2. This next one I bought because I thought the guy who did Hellboy did it, but it doesn't. But doesn't that look like Hellboy? That looks like Hellboy. I don't have the Hellboy game. This is Chaos of Cthulhu. This is a fun little dice chucker where you're trying to make monsters and summon things. And this one, I think, does a really good job of making you feel like you are doing something you shan't be doing, but you do it anyway. Chaos of Cthulhu, it's just kind of a silly little theme about the Necronomicon and summoning things. But I think, okay, yeah, this is gonna get 45 Necronomicons out of 117. Oh God. This son of a bitch right here, Cthulhu Rise of the Cults. I got this on Kickstarter a long time ago. I have attempted to play it maybe 4 times, and I cannot understand the rules at all. It is just so dense and weird. Is the theme in there? I don't even know. It's just, I didn't really, I don't know. I know I made a joke earlier about, being unknown. I don't know if it's going to be any good, but I really don't think this is going to be good. And the theme itself is like detectives going around the town doing things and playing cards. And I don't know, it doesn't really give me Cthulhu vibes. I feel like this could be anything. So this one gets 2 nameless cities. All right, let's get some shit to Let's get to some shit that I have played. Ladies and gentlemen, boom! This is the Pandemic Reign of Cthulhu game. This is just Pandemic with Cthulhu on it, but it's so much more. I made a video for it. You should go watch it and give me all the likes and all the it's delicious. This game takes Pandemic and takes it from a big it makes it a real small and I think this game does a really good job of invoking the cultist thing more than most of the others, because you're really trying to control the cultists. You don't really know what they're up to. You know they're summoning something, but you don't know what it is. It could be good, it could be bad. Spoiler alert, it's fucking bad. I love this game. I think it is thematic. I think it really captures that, we could win, but at any moment we could not. And then when things get too bad, you lose, but you still feel like winning. And while Lovecraft isn't about ever really winning, I feel like this game takes the concept of that, but makes it feel like you could. Gives you a little bit of hope that some of the other Lovecraft games might be missing. I give Reign of Cthulhu 35 Randolph Carters out of 21. All right. Probably the best theme integration for a Lovecraft story, Mountains of Madness by Yellow. This is a game which is co-op in which you and your friends are trying to go around and just play cards to get through a thing, but that's not where the magic happens. The magic happens here is because when you go mad, like you do in 90% of these other games, it's not just a resource, it's a condition. So when you go mad in this, there are things you might not be able to do. Like, for example, before every round, you might have to shake everyone's hand. You might have to say yes or no, sir. You might not be able to look it on the eye. You might not even be able to speak at all, except grunts and moans because you're so crazy. This game does a really good job of making you understand what the madness part is and really plays it up for fun and plays it up for laughs. And Lovecraft is no laughing matter, but I don't fucking care because Mountains of Madness, as far as theme and the way it integrates all of his stuff, minus the racism, is 10 Elder Ones out of 1 Elder One. Gross. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get to some rapid fire before we get to the big uns that are gonna take a little bit more talking to. First off, this is a game I got rid of recently called Tides of Madness. This is just Tides of Time, but different, and there's really no theme there. Tides of Madness gets a 6.9 Tides of Madness out of 0. Next up, Arkham Ritual was a social deduction game in which you were trying, this is a super dumb game. The theme is not there. It could have been anything, and unfortunately it was this, so it caused me to buy it. Arkham Ritual gets, I don't know, fucking 0 of my money out of anything. Miskatonic University, the Restricted Collection. Oh, this is getting to me. Miskatonic University, the Restricted Collection was a push your luck set collection game that was okay. The theme wasn't really there, it was just pasted on, but I thought it did an okay job. I liked the idea that we're in the university, which is always fun, so I will give this, I got rid of it, so for Abdul Al-Hazard, isn't that the guy who had the Necronomicons? Out of 8. All right, while I am not going to include things where Lovecraft is a character in it, like Smash Up and Kings of New York or King of Tokyo, I will include the pasted on themes to see how well they do. First up, we have Munchkin Cthulhu. This was probably the first Munchkin game I ever played because of the Cthulhu thing. And it was okay, it's Munchkin. Do you like Munchkin? Sure. This one gets, I don't know, 5 Munchkins out of 5 Munchkins. It's just Munchkin, but with Cthulhu theme, and there's not really a theme to it. Now, Cthulhu Flux, on the other hand, is the perfect theme for a Flux game. If you've ever played Flux, the Flux of Flux is to flux the rules, where it could be a different win condition every turn, and you never really know what's going on. And if you read all the stories and enjoy it, I think Flux Cthulhu, if you're gonna play Flux, is the best Flux to Flux. So I give Cthulhu Flux 6.5 Fluxes out of Flux. All right, last up, Cthulhu Realms. It's just Star Realms with a different theme. I don't really remember this being very thematic. I just remember really liking the art on it. But as far as the theme and the, oh my goodness, it's okay. I played it a lot though, so maybe 7.5 Davy Jones from Pirates of the Caribbean Tentacle Faces out of 6. All right, here we go. This is the home stretch. This is the Fantasy Flight Games corner. You knew this was coming because you can't say Lovecraft without thinking of Arkham. And you can't say Arkham without thinking of Batman. No, wait, that's wrong. Is it? Technically right. Arkham Horror was the one that I played the first. It might very well be my first big board game that I played. And as far as theme and everything goes, it did an okay job. It was just a small little town. There's a lot going on. I didn't really feel compelled. I didn't feel like there was a mystery. It didn't really tell a story. It was just me sitting around the table for 240 minutes doing, I don't know, something. It is okay. So Arkham Horror, specifically second edition, because I haven't played third and I haven't played first, I will give Arkham Horror 6 cases of Charles Dexter Ward's out of 9. Does a pretty good job. Now, Mansions of Madness specifically, I've only played the first edition, and it was a headache. And as far as the way the theme was implemented, it was in the house. It told a decent story because the one person was kind of in charge of everything. It was very fiddly, and I understand the app in the second edition changes that, but I can't ever get over that first memory of the first one. But it does a pretty good job. All the Fantasy Flights do a pretty decent job. And Mansions of Madness, I would say, is lower tier of how the themes are implemented. I will give Mansions of Madness a Dunwich Horror out of 3. See, what I've been doing is I've been going through my book and I'll flip to a page and I'll give it a title of one of his stories out of something because I can't think of all these things on the fly. All right, so now we're in the spot. I know I said these weren't in any particular order, but I'm going to count these down in a particular order. Now, the first one is a bit of a, not guilty pleasure. What's that thing where you're ashamed of something? A bit of a, I forget what it's called. One of those things. Here is my Arkham Horror, the card game, which is, I would say, up there with Lord of the Rings, the LCG, and Netrunner as one of the greatest card games ever made. Look at this big strap box. I got all this stuff. I love it. It's so good. But you want to see where my shame? Do you want to see my shame? Never opened. Never opened. Never opened. Oh, we're not done yet. Never opened. Never opened. And if I open this, 90% of these cards I haven't even touched. I fell in love with this game after playing it once, and then I never played it again. And I'm so sad, because it was, as far as theme goes, perfect. It was the exact amount of hard that it should have been, and it is phenomenal. It's a great game. It makes me feel Lovecrafty. It tells stories. It makes you feel like you're going to lose. Even when you win, you kind of lose. At the end of the first thing, the first story, you win, but there's the chance the house blows up. It's just, mwah. I give it 10 Music of Eric Zahn's out of 10. That's my favorite Lovecraft story, or one of them, one of 2, one of 3, one of 2. Next up, ooh. This right here, look at this beautiful thing. Oh, what's in here, you ask? Allow me, to show you. Ladies and gentlemen, Elder Sign. This game here is, I love it. It's so good. I played the, oh man, oh, it's so good. Look at all these cards. Oh, they're so big. Oh, look at them. Beautiful. The theme here comes through because there's different stories that it tells. And at the end of the day, it's all about luck and how well you can mitigate your luck and how well you can plan your luck. That may seem unfair, but in the world of Lovecraft, luck is pretty much all you have because you cannot control a goddamn thing. Now, this does a great job. Ooh, I shook it too much. Cards right here. Oh my God, I could have shook that out. That would have been a nightmare. This does an equally good job as the Arkham Horror card game. And it's just, I know Lovecraft is responsible. No, I know Fantasy Flight is responsible for the themes of all these, but they implement them in vastly different ways. I think this is the second best, tied along with Arkham Horror, that the Lovecraft theme has ever been done. And if you are in the mood for some Lovecraft, these are readily available, pretty cheap, but I warn you, they can be a bit addicting. Also, there's an app for this. Oh my God, I almost forgot! Lost in Riley! This is great! I forgot about this game. I forgot I even had it. This is another one of those rummy style things, and the art is nice. Does it make you feel Cthulhu-y? No, not at all. Oh, Elder Sign gets 10 Shadow over Innsmouths out of 10. Flawless. Shadow over Innsmouth is my favorite Lovecraft story. But this is just, it's, you know, silly. It is a game that even people that do not like Lovecraft can get into because it's just fun. There's a little bit of madness things at play. This is right up there with Pocket Madness if you're looking for like a lighter affair. But I'm not going by, if the game is good, I'm going by theme. And the theme is implemented maybe 2 underwater cities out of 3. So ladies and gentlemen, here we come to the very end of the one that I believe, short of reading this book and all of his stories yourself, I believe the best games that have implemented the Lovecraft theme and idea and story and everything. Eldritch Horror. I mentioned that this, shake the camera, is the best. I'm going to use the smallest box because that's what I can do to carry it. The way that it does the scope, as I mentioned, the way that it tells stories, it tells different stories. There's so many characters, there's so many events, and just random and crazy, but also control. And the co-op in this game, you will play 10 games and you will win maybe 1. It's one of those brutally difficult co-op experiences. And this is just without a doubt the best implementation of the theme, even though it's very Fantasy Flight's version of Lovecraft and not really Lovecraft's version of Lovecraft on some of these things. I think this is the pinnacle, the best, the benchmark, the Kobe, the Jordan, the Gretzky, the John Cena of what the Lovecraft theme can be, specifically with Fantasy Flight. I think it is the best. So I will give Eldritch Horror 10 complete fiction collection of Lovecraft out of 10. Because it's everything that Lovecraft is and everything that Lovecraft should be, minus, of course, racism. He was a racist dude. Man. Ugh. Also octopuses. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me on this little trip down Cthulhu Lane. I hope you've seen a game that you like. I hope you like Lovecraft. If you do like Lovecraft as much as I do, or even more, let me know. I think it's great. Or if there's a Lovecraft game that I haven't played that you think I should check out, let me know, because it has a chance of staying in my collection, because I love what I love, and I Cthulhu what I fatagen. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me. Hope you and yours are well. Peace out. Oh, wait. That's not right.
Bear in mind closely that I did not see any actual visual horror at the end. To say that a mental shock was the cause of what I inferred, that last straw which sent me racing out of the lonely Akeley farmhouse and through the...